In today's show, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week. Also, breaking news, Canadian public company DeFi Technologies has adopted Bitcoin as its primary treasury reserve asset. That's right, it just bought 110 BTC. Let's freaking go. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin versus Warren Buffett and his portfolio as Bitcoin continues to dwarf it. That's what's up. We'll also be discussing crypto inflows hit a whopping $2 billion in June as Ethereum sees the best week since March with 69 million. We're also going to be discussing a very bold brand new prediction from PlanB, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model. He's predicting Bitcoin hitting $150,000 by the end of this year and 800,000 per coin by 2025. We're also going to be discussing a very bullish price prediction from a crypto strategist that predicts a big Bitcoin breakout in the next 7 to 10 days, taking Bitcoin above $100,000 per coin. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. I have something I'm pretty excited to share with you because it's a crypto life hack. It is the very first crypto credit card without fees and without limits, and you can use it anywhere in the world. It's called Black Card, and the project's token is BC Coin. Check it out for yourself here on the screen. You're going to get instant card activation, unlimited global spending, 13% cashback starter, earn instant 10% on all referrals. Truly a no-brainer. It's already being traded on a lot of the top exchanges, as you can see here. You can trade it for all your top cryptocurrencies you're already dealing with, and it's all within your reach. That's right, you're going to get a physical card in the mail, so I'm pretty excited about this. Finally, real utility for the token and huge potential for the user base. Find all the links below this video in the description and tell me what you think. Please do your own due diligence. Check them out over on Twitter/X and all the other platforms and see they're doing some big things, and take advantage of this card today. And let's get this crypto, shall we? If you're new to the channel and to the stream, very important to smash the likes and also subscribe to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod and hit that bell icon and turn on all notifications. And if you're watching the stream on X, please repost it. I appreciate it. The more eyeballs we could get on the stream, the better. Today is pod episode number 1666. I'm your host, JV, and it's June 10th, 2024. Bitcoin did recapture 70,000 this morning when I woke up, but unfortunately we corrected back down to 69.4, but we're still holding strong above 69. Let's see if we can recapture 70,000 during today's live stream. Let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. Actually, on Coin360, Bitcoin's closer to 69.5. That's what's up. Only 500 away from that psychological 70,000 resistance. We also have Ether in the red, trading above 3,600. In fact, the majority of the alt market is correcting and in the red. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com, we're sitting at a 2.55 trillion market cap with 57 billion worth of volume in the past 24 hours. We have the Bitcoin dominance at 54.1%. with the Ether dominance at 17.4%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, we got GNO up 8%. We have Mantra up 5%. And we have Monero up almost 5%. Below that, we have Uni, Injective, Oasis, Quantron, Nexo, and Flare. Let me know what particular alts you guys are most bullish on for this particular bull. Holla in that live chat, fam. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective on the daily. It's a mixed bag. We do have some respectable gainers overall, and many in the red. So, and zooming out on the monthly, probably like a 50-50 mix, maybe 60-40 in the red with some impressive gainers in the green. I'm going to assume Brett is another meme coin, something up 500% on the month. Jasmine's up 115%. Pepe's up 51%. Floki's up 62%. And this Alm, I've never heard of until today, up 51% on the monthly. Even Monero up 35%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, or currently rated 72 greed. Yesterday, 75. Last week, 73. And last month, of 53, which is neutral. So there you have it, my crypto La Familia. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to take us? In fact, I have a question for y'all. We have a live poll right now. The question is when 100,000, because I'm going to be sharing our feature story later today of analysts, credible crypto, predicting 100,000 within the next 7 to 10 days. Let that sink in. But anyways, we got so much to cover. I just got to get right into it today. Check it. Here's the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week. Yeah, yo, lots of happening. First and foremost, we'll start here. The Bitcoin price range bound, but apt for a shakeup. That's right. Bitcoin experienced a contrastingly quiet weekend after sudden macro-induced volatility hit around last week's final Wall Street trading session. Here you're looking at the Biddy 1-hour chart, the 69,000 mark, which we're just above right now. The site of Bitcoin's old all-time highs from 2021 formed as a market focus, with the continuing into the new Asian session, according to TradingView. And with no breakouts up or down, liquidity began to thicken around the spot price in a classic style, as tracked by monitoring resource CoinGlass, potentially setting up a hunt and thus more volatility to come. Quoting them here, not much change in the spot order books, as liquidity firming up around 70,500 to 71,000. Bid liquidity firming up around the low, 68.5 to 68,000. The market reaction to sweeping either side of the book will be important early this week, in my opinion, for reversion or continuation trades. So there you have it. And quoting Dan Crypto Trades, I am assuming this loses its edge once we break this range, but until then it is a good tool to go by to not get chopped up during the weekends. And quoting analyst Mikhail Vande Pop, it would be massive to have a breakout at 71.7, but it is standard to be a conservative during the CPI week. And that leads us to our next factor to keep our eyes on this week, which is the CPI meets the Fed meeting and key macro week for crypto. That's right. The macro landscape is dominated by 2 key week events: the Fed interest rate decision and the press conference, along with the May print of the CPI. In something of a double whammy for risk asset volatility, CPI is due to release on the same day as the FOMC. Quoting the Kabisi letter, the long anticipated June Fed meeting is officially here, with all eyes on Fed guidance. And quoting analysts here, scenario 1, recover the NFP move at the start of the week, consolidate until the FOMC comes out, aggressive FOMC move, and then retrace the FOMC move. Scenario 2, FOMC recovers the NFP move. Until then, we simply consolidate and sweep the lows. Let me know how you feel. That's likely to play out. Now, the next factor, Bitcoin's weekly close nears a record high. In fact, I think it was the second largest weekly close in Bitcoin history. Let's discuss it. As noted, including popular traders such as Matthew Hyland, the latest close was Bitcoin's second highest ever recorded at 69,630. Not too shabby. This comes despite the last minute dip into the weekend, a portion of which buyers subsequently managed to reverse. It shows Bitcoin ultimately gained 2.7% last week, with the monthly open still intact as support. In quoting Dan Crypto Trades, we did it previously, but that was on the back of a massive run which needed to be cooled off. Could argue that this time Bitcoin will have a lot more fuel, which seems to be a sentiment right now in the markets. We continue to bust out. Even none your business draws down here close enough after a cycle high is 23%. Close enough? I think it can be. Next factor, the Bitcoin resistance flips its historical technical feat. That's right, quoting Rack Capital, Bitcoin has performed a historic technical feat in turning a major area of old resistance into a new major support. He also says Bitcoin has since developed a reaccumulation range at these highs, which resembles a bull flag trend continuation pattern, as outlined here in this chart, which shows the resistance zone in question to be between 58.6 and 61.3. This defeating bulls in 2021. Now the monthly time frame shows that the tide has turned in their favor. Quoting him again, Bitcoin continues to consolidate in the post-halving reaccumulation range. The range high resistance is 71.5. The range low support is 60,600, as outlined here in the chart. Now, quoting Rack Capital, at the moment, Bitcoin isn't yet ready to break out into the parabolic phase of the cycle. Let me know which analysts you agree with. Now, for the fifth factor to keep our eyes out on this week, whales seek medium-term profits. That's right. Reaccumulation not only describes the Bitcoin price action this month, but also the habits of the Bitcoin whales. In research platform CryptoQuant on June, it shared, they argued that the large volume Bitcoin investors are currently loading up on coins for medium-term profits quotes, quoting them here, unlike convinced Bitcoin investors who seek to create long-term reserves, the whales generally seek medium-term profits. We can easily identify this behavior through the monthly variation of Bitcoin reserves of entities with more than 1,000 BTC. As we can see here in the chart, this chart showed the percentage monthly change in whales holding on a rolling 30-day basis. This is currently modestly climbing after the sharp distribution phase, which followed Bitcoin's run to an all-time high back in mid-March, which is the current all-time high of 73.8, quoting them here. Note that there is a pattern of accumulation and distribution directly impacting pricing. After an intense period of distribution in March, institutional investors began the process of reaccumulation in the last 2 weeks. So there you have it, crypto fam. Breaking news. We have a Canadian public company called DeFi Technologies, which has officially adopted Bitcoin as its primary treasury reserve asset, falling in the footsteps of Mikey Saylor and MicroStrategy. Respect. They just bought 110 BTC. So let's break down this story and shout out to this company. I think that's a very brilliant move. It made the initial acquisition of 110 Bitcoins valued at 7.7 million after deciding to make Bitcoin its primary reserve asset. My question for you guys, how many companies likely to follow in the footsteps of MicroStrategy and start putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet? Let me know. And especially making it a primary reserve asset, I think that's genius. The companies whose shares are trading on Toronto CBOE Canada explain it acquired Bitcoin in order to protect the company's assets from currency debasement. Smart. Now, Rousey Newton, the CEO of DeFi Technologies, is convinced that the company could potentially expand its treasury because of the latest investments. That's right. Business intelligence firm MicroStrategy famously became the trailblazer, the first one to publicly put Bitcoin on the balance sheet, which began back in August of 2020. Clearly, the bet paid off, with Michael Saylor becoming one of the most prominent Bitcoin advocates. That's right. And meanwhile, the company's stock was recently added to the MSCI World Index after its shares surged by more than 100% in 2024. MicroStrategy remains the biggest corporate holder of the leading crypto by a large margin, with a massive 15 billion Bitcoin fortune. Now what's going to happen when Bitcoin surpasses 138,000 and the price doubles? Well, that fortune doubles to 30 billion, just FYI. What happens when MicroStrategy's Bitcoin skyrockets 10x? Then we hit 10x that number, which would be $150 billion. So they say Michael Saylor may become the world's first trillionaire. Let me know if you agree with that. Now, after MicroStrategy, Tesla, let's not forget, also purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. That was back in February of 2021. But unfortunately, it already liquidated a substantial portion of that investment. Womp womp. And last month, medical company Semler Scientific also decided to purchase $40 million worth of the King crypto. Overall, corporate adoption of Bitcoin has failed to take off, with very few non-crypto companies adding the leading crypto to their balance sheet. However, new accounting rules, which will go into effect next year, are expected to make it easier for companies to buy and hodl BTC. So there you have it. Also want to throw out there GameStop. There's been a lot of talk and speculation. What if they put billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin on the balance sheet? That'd be pretty substantial. You remember Roaring Kitty a few days back? He went live with a massive stream of over 650,000 live concurrent viewers, and his position was like down 300 million during the live stream, but he's still up hundreds of million because his goal was to, I believe, become a billionaire during that live stream. But unfortunately, the market did not go up in his favor, but actually went down during his stream. But just hypothetically speaking, with all of these big companies that are very cash heavy, where do you park the cash? For example, if you were an S&P 500 company or a top company like an Apple or Amazon, and you had access to literally billions of dollars worth of cash, where do you park it? Because if you put it in the bank, you already know you're subject to currency debasement called inflation. No one can escape it, just like no one can escape the father time. You know what I mean? So at this point, The greatest place to park your assets is Bitcoin, hands down. So if you want to have a very strong company for the long term, you would put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. There is no second best. Anyways, fam, next story of the day. Let's keep it moving. We have a lot to cover. This is actually a very interesting story. Headline reads, Bitcoin versus Warren Buffett. Bitcoin holders 104%. CAGR dwarfs steady growth portfolio. That's right. Bitcoin continues outperforming this man's portfolio, which you got to appreciate. Comparing Bitcoin's compound annual growth rate, CAGR, with the returns achieved by Buffett's portfolio, with its top holdings being Apple, Bank of America, American Express, Coca-Cola, and Chevron, shows starkly different risk-reward profiles and performance over varying timeframes. So let's break it down. For instance, according to the data resource Lazy Portfolio ETF, Warren Buffett's portfolio has attained 10% CAGR with a 13% standard deviation in the past 30 years. In comparison, the U.S. company stock portfolios have more or less offered similar returns, but with a higher standard deviation. In other words, the Oracle of Omaha's portfolio has returned impressive results despite being less volatile or risky than U.S. stock portfolios. His investment philosophy emphasizes long-term value investing, prudent risk management, and a preference of fundamentally strong companies. However, Bitcoin beats Buffett's risk-averse portfolio. For example, by comparison, Bitcoin's performance has been nothing short of extraordinary. Since its trading debut in 2011, you can say that again, Bitcoin has delivered a staggering average annual return of 104%. This figure easily beats the returns of Buffett's and U.S. stock portfolios every year on average over the past 13 years. Take that. Bitcoin's CAGR is also much higher, as it is also a safe haven rival of gold, which has returned an average of 6% annually in the same period. This shows that while U.S. stock portfolios have achieved a comparable CAGR to the Buffett portfolio, its higher volatility might make it unsustainable for the risk-adverse investors. That's right. Gold, with its modest 6% average annual return over the past decade, offers relative stability and acts as a hedge against economic downturns. As you can see here, that shows you gold's average annual return performance. And a quick shout out to Mateus. He just gifted yet another membership of the channel to Joe Folan, and that's the third one he's given away already today. So respect, Mateus. Many traders and investors regard Bitcoin as digital gold, viewing it as a hedge against inflation and currency devaluation. This perception has enhanced its appeal as an asset over the years. Notably, several U.S. companies such as MicroStrategy and Tesla have added Bitcoin to their reserves, followed by the launch of the Bitcoin ETFs that have further solidified its status amongst institutional investors. Can you say FOMO? Like a mofo. I mean, look at this. It shows you the spot US Bitcoin ETFs cumulative inflows through the roof. And later in the show, I'll share with you more in depth how these ETF inflows are just rocking it right now. So that said, Bitcoin remains highly volatile, which is a good thing. As Sailor once said, volatility equals life force. So with its price subject to extreme fluctuations when compared to the stable returns of Buffett's portfolio, and in recent years, Bitcoin has exhibited lower volatility than many of the S&P 500 stocks, including Tesla, Meta, and Nvidia. Go figure. Now, the Buffett portfolio represents a more conservative, long-term strategy with consistent returns and manageable risks, even though it has exposure to a pro-crypto neobank and new holdings. But by contrast, Bitcoin has provided much higher returns, albeit with significant volatility and several big downturns over the past 13 years, family. So there you have it. Next story of the day, we said we discussed the ETF inflows, so let's discuss them. Crypto inflows hit $2 billion already in June, and Ethereum sees the best week since March with 69 milli. That's right, family. Digital asset investment products started positively in June, with almost all providers seeing inflows and recording an overall inflow of $2 billion. And on June 10th, CoinShares published its weekly fund flows report, highlighting the crypto investment products gathered over $2 billion in inflows. And according to CoinShares, June's initial inflows brought digital asset products' 5-week total to $4.3 billion. Not too shabby. In addition, the asset manager reported that trading volumes for the ETPs, exchange traded products, catapulted to almost $13 billion for the first week of June, which is a 55% increase compared to the previous week. And apart from the overall inflows, CoinShares also highlighted that almost all the providers of the crypto ETPs saw inflows in the first week of June. The asset manager described the pattern as unusual and shared that it may be a response to the weaker macro data. Quoting them here, "We believe this turnaround in sentiment is a direct response to the weaker than expected macro data in the U.S., bringing forward monetary policy rate cut expectations." The asset manager added that the positive price action pushed the total assets under management to rise above $100 billion for the first time since March of 2024. That's some serious volume, family. You got to consider that the ETF's only been live since January 11th. That's like roughly 5 months as of tomorrow. You know what I mean? And amongst the digital asset investor product providers, only Grayscale and CoinShares recorded outflows for the week. I'm not surprised. And of those recorded inflows, iShares exchange traded funds and the ETFs for the U.S. Recorded the most inflows of 948 million, which is close to $1 billion, while Fidelity ETFs flowed and following second place, recording 680 million. Well, that makes sense because iShares is BlackRock, the largest asset manager, and then Fidelity is one of the top as well. So that's number 1 and 2 right now. Now let's discuss the Ethereum products, see their best week of inflows. While Bitcoin continued to dominate the ETP space with almost $2 billion for the week, Ether-based products also broke records. CoinShares reported that Ethereum investment products saw a total inflow of 69 million for the week, their best record since March. The asset manager believes that this is likely a response to the recent approval of the Ether-based spot ETFs. As you know, on May 23rd, the SEC officially approved several spot Ether ETFs in the United States. They have yet to officially go live, but speculation says they may go live as soon as this month. What are your thoughts on that, fam? Let me know in the live chat. Meanwhile, altcoin-based ETPs saw minor activities, with Phantom and XRP showing inflows of 1.4 mil and 1.2 million respectively. So there you have it, my crypto La Familia. But anyways, let's get to the bullishness. We ain't got time to waste. So here we go. Here's the latest from PlanB, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model. Let's start first and foremost with the tweet he just shared. Let's timestamp this mofo. June 10th. 5:18 a.m. That's this morning. Already 360,000 views about. He says, my best guess Bitcoin scenario for 2024, 2028. 2024 end of the year, $150,000. Let me know if you agree. Then he says, 2025, $800,000 Bitcoin. This is extremely bullish, family. This lit my eyes up as soon as I saw it. So I got to share this in today's stream. Then for 2026, back down to 400,000, meaning we cut in half the peak from 2025 for this cycle. During the bear winter, we cut it in half from 800,000 to 400,000. Then 2027, another bearish year, we're going to go to 300,000, a little less than the 400,000. And then in 2028, which is the year of the following halving, he's saying 400,000. I'm going to assume this is pre-halving, obviously. I think the halving of 2028 will more than likely be March or April. This scenario, pink dots, as you can see in the chart, would fit stock to flow 3 power law model perfectly and would be a bit higher than the 6 tight power law models. Let me know what you feel in this bullishness. I think that's a hell of a target. My personal target, which I share commonly here on the show, is for a bear scenario, which is the low. I am predicting 222,000. I think it'll more than likely occur in 2025. And my bull scenario is 750,000. So I give it to him because we're right in alignment. His is a little more bullish, but not much. So heck, send it to 800,000, will ya? And also, he more recently tweeted, I like to use both the power law and the stock to flow. Both are just curve fits. Here's the chart. Data supports both. High R2, but that will change. Power law equals diminishing returns, 210,000 top, 70,000 bottom. Stock to flow equals exponential returns, 500,000 top, 100,000 bottom. No need to debate. The time will tell. And those are the keywords right there. Time will tell. So yeah, we have PlanB, who created the stock to flow model for Bitcoin, issued the bold prediction for the coming few years. The analyst bases Bitcoin predictions based on the power law combined with the stock to flow model. Amen. And according to PlanB, the Bitcoin price will close this year trading at around 150 G's, baby, which coincides with his exponential returns. The crypto analyst further noted Bitcoin price will reach 800,000 per coin in his best scenario by the end of 2025, after which the crypto analyst expects Bitcoin price to get trapped in a bearish outlook until 2028. Specifically, PlanB believes the Bitcoin price will close 2026 trading around 400,000, which is 0.4 milli, and in 2027 around 300,000 and about 400,000. 400,000 in 2028. Now, previously, the crypto analyst pointed out that the power law emphasized diminishing returns, which has signaled the Bitcoin top at around 210,000 and a bottom of at least 70 Gs. On the other hand, the analyst indicated that the stock to flow model indicated a top of at least 500,000 and a bottom of over 100,000. However, the crypto analyst indicated that the figures are set to constant change depending upon the actual price action in the coming months. I mean, as he outlines here on X. So let me know your thoughts with all this, family. Personally, I'm right there with them. I'd love to see an $800,000 Bitcoin price action next year. I think that would be mind-boggling. I think that would put us ahead of schedule to reach that coveted seven-figure milestone. But hey, baby steps. We still got so much further to go. Currently trading just sub 70,000 at today's price action here on June 10th, 2024. The current all-time high is 73.8. So that's the level all eyes are on right now. I believe if we break 72, mass short liquidations will get liquidated, and that will send us up to our next leg up, which is ultimately where we need to head next, above 74,000, re-entering price discovery so we can hit a new high. Let me know your thoughts on those predictions by the one and only PlanB. Now for our featured story of the day. Crypto analyst Credible Crypto predicts Bitcoin breaking out on a parabolic rally within the next 7 to 10 days, achieving the six-figure coveted $100,000 milestone. So let's break this baby down. As you can see in the headline, crypto strategist predicts big Bitcoin breakout in 7 to 10 days. Here's the target. Yeah, let's just start straight up with the tweet. He wrote 56,000, 20% below when this was tweeted, and the bottom of the brutal correction. If you're reading this now, you made it. That's right, you made it through. Downside now limited to 60,000, which would be invalidation, and realistically, no lower than 62 to 63, if that, with a high likelihood that this level gets front run as well. I give it about 7 to 10 days before we go absolutely Giga-Send BTC with a target of $100,000 plus. And this was off the back of his previous tweet from April 11th, where he wrote, next big move will be brutal, in my opinion, but you get past that and you'll get to enjoy up only, the likes of which you haven't seen in over 3 years. I have my plan ready. Now I just need to execute when the time is right. Amen to that. And a quick shout out to Chandy. We appreciate the super. Thanks for your contribution and supporting the show. She wrote, keep it up. Greatly appreciate it, family. So yeah, the analyst known for making contrarian crypto calls thinks that the King Crypto is days away from igniting a big burst to the upside. And are you ready for a big burst to the upside? Holla in that chat, family. The crypto trader says Bitcoin may fall as low as 62 Gs before triggering another parabolic rally to new highs. Again, quoting him here, downside now limited to 60,000 and realistically no lower than 62, 63, if that, with a high likelihood that this level gets front run as well. I give it about 7 to 10 days before we go absolutely Giga-Send Bitcoin with a target of 100,000 plus. Let me know if you agree with this sentiment, and how would that impact your life? Hypothetically speaking, family, let's hypothetically say within the next week or two, Bitcoin realistically actually hits that target and is trading at 100,000 per coin. Let me know in that live chat. So according to Credible, the Bitcoin rally will drive crypto traders into unloading their altcoin holdings out of the fear of being left out. That's when that Bitcoin dominance skyrockets, family. Quoting them here, Bitcoin prints an absolute chad of an impulse candle, which is so big and so strong that the collective attention of the space shifts to Bitcoin for a period of time, and liquidity begins to flow out of the 10 million other alts, of which Doge is one, and into Bitcoin as it begins to go vertical. That's typically what happens every cycle, family. And the Bitcoin Dom goes crazy. In the near term, Credible believes the Bitcoin will witness one more rally of above 70,000 per coin prior to a correction towards 64,000, and then a rally to new all-time highs of 100,000 above infinity and beyond. manifesting. So there you have it, family. 2 bullish back-to-back targets for you. We just discussed Bitcoin breaking out to 6 figures within the next 10 days. And we also previously shared with you PlanB, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model, projecting Bitcoin hitting 800,000 per coin next year in 2025 as the cycle peak. Let me know if you agree or disagree with these incredible analysts. And I'm going to be reading as many of your comments out loud as I can. Reminder, I personally feel the Bitcoin target for this cycle peak, which I believe most likely will occur next year in 2025, will be anywhere from a low of 222,000 per Bitcoin to a high of 750,000. So it's pretty much right in alignment with Plan B of the stock to flow model. But I want to know your thoughts, family. I'm going to read these out loud. After $100,000, I can add cheese to my burgers. Amen, Knoxville. What do you know? You can now eat cheeseburgers. It's a beautiful thing. I got 175 acres. I just want a cave. Wow, that's a lot of acreage, family. Respect. Now, 100,000 means I can buy the Yugo car. I'm not familiar with that car, but more than likely you can buy that car, family. I got you. I always want to see a crazy green candle, but I still like buying at 69. More than 420. Well, it seems those are your favorite numbers, 69 and 420. So happy 420 and have some fun in your next 69. Just saying. Installing a cup holder in my car at $100,000. Let's go, Bobby. We need 100,000 in case Saudi Arabia will now sell oil for Bitcoin at some point. Jacuzzi on deck while I watch the sun go behind the mountains. There you go. Nothing more beautiful than a beautiful sunset behind the mountains, family. Good stuff. What are your thoughts on these particular targets, family? Let me know. You know what I mean? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Where's the Bitcoin price likely heading for the cycle peak? Where's the high going to be? Do you think we hit 150 G's this particular year, 2024, as Plan B is predicting? Let me know. 800 G's next year? Holla. Yugo was like 2,000 back in the early 80s. Well, now you should be able to buy it for 20 bucks. Take advantage of it. It's a double word. Shout out Bitcoin Stew. Is the screen blurry or do I need to get some glasses? Hopefully you just need some glasses. Be able to catch you live again. It feels good stat-wise. Welcome back, brother. How you been? It's been a minute. I've been streaming live every day at 4 o'clock. We've been pretty persistent with the schedule. All this week, Monday through Friday, we're going to be 4 p.m. Eastern. Then Saturday, it's going to be an earlier stream. That's when I pick up my daughter again. And then we'll be back to 4 p.m. again. So mostly throughout the summer, like 99% of the time, we'll be streaming at 4 p.m. Eastern, just FYI. 300,000. Let's go. Looks like Nipsey wants to go. Don't even say that word. Unfair. 150,000 this week, baby. Imagine that. Imagine that. Leaving a 2,000-mile road trip. Hope it's 100,000 when I get back. You're not alone there, yo. SoFi ready for a big move for the upside, says Michael Anthony. Word up. Welcome, Michael Anthony. Aloha, Satwise. We've been missing you. Robert Levi, sell your old junk, throw it in, buy a new ish, then DCA until your stuff is junk. Probably 4 years. Work for me. There's no wrong way to stack the biddies, is my conclusion. I hope nobody will buy my biddies when I offer them for $800,000. Word.
Only 3 AC cause I'm blowing it up. Short squeeze, more please, yeah, it's going to pump. They drop foot, but it's still not slowing it up.
I will finally be a 100% nerd. Well, I beg to differ. If you're here on the stream right now, watching this, you're officially a nerd. Bitcoin nerd, that is. And take that as a compliment. We're all Bitcoin nerds in this together. Here to take over the world.